this point in time, you've both gotten people to recognize that there is a problem and that you're in a unique position to solve it. Now you need to get to the heart of the matter, the execution, as we talked about earlier. How are you actually going to be executing on this vision that you have? What is the things that you've proven so far? Hopefully you've got some validation, and this validation ideally will be in the form of existing customers who've already put up some money and paid for your solution, but it doesn't have to be that way. Market validation can come in the form of third-party market research or research that you conducted yourself that shows that people have a willingness to buy a solution for that particular problem that you have in the business model that you are proposing at the price point that you are suggesting. You want to show what is, because one of the main elements that we talked about earlier is market size. You want to do a very thorough analysis of the market, showing how this is going to be a huge growth opportunity, which requires looking at things like total available market, as well as your ability to service portions of that market, which is the serviceable market for you. Put together a bottoms-up revenue model. Like we said, the market might not be there today. It might take a few years to get there. And even if it is there today, you will not be able to magically flip a switch and become a multi-million-dollar company overnight. You need to show how the revenue that accrues to your company builds up over time using a bottoms-up revenue model. And you should be clear about what metrics you are going to be using. Is it going to be just revenue? Is it going to be total number of customers? If it's a business that is predicated on a business model of advertising or similar things, maybe it's on total number of users or total number of active users. If it's a subscription-based business, what are the churn metrics that you're going to be keeping track of, and so on. And you need to be very clear about what you're going to be doing with the money that you're asking for. That's a question I think that we will cover in depth in the second part of the series, valuation, how much money to ask for, and so on. It's something that is typically on the minds of most entrepreneurs. How much money should I ask for? And my typical advice here is ask for as much money as you can, as much money as you can justify using in a clear manner. So if your current model, if this bottoms-up revenue model that you presented only requires, say, $1 million worth of investment for engineering work, for marketing the product, for salespeople, there's no point in asking for $4 million because the VCs are going to look at that and say, you know, what are you doing here, right? You're basically using us as your bank account. We're taking on all the risk. You don't have use for that money. It's just going to sit in your pocket. So ask for as much as you can, provided that you can make a clear justification for what you're going to be doing with it over the course of the time that money that you raise is going to last you. And then finally, the final act is, what is your vision? The investment will be made primarily based on what you have today. But the VCs don't want to put money into something that's going to turn into a one-trick pony, because that's a company that's hard to scale up. Inevitably, you will have competition, and the market position that you enjoy today will erode. You need to show that the current idea that you have, that the current solution, the current technology that you're basing it on, is going to be useful beyond that initial product or service that you're proposing. There is a vision of how this evolves into a complete product line, serving multiple customer segments, serving multiple markets, and so on. Otherwise, that, in the VC's mind, that poses a risk that you will be able to only grow so much until you hit